Hi there. I've got something in the oven, so it would be good if we could do this in one take. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So what I want to talk about today is pronouns and name changey type stuff. I've been thinking since I came out as genderqueer, but also in general, especially recently, that I'd like to not use male pronouns. Now, it's not really the worst thing when people refer to me with he, him, these things, but it's like, it's for the same reason as the clothes thing, that the reason I dress the way I do is because I want to, it's twofold. I want to express how I feel, and I want to protest the gender binary, and those two things feed into one another because how I feel is that I don't fit the gender binary, so I want to protest it, and the protest is an expression of how I feel. So they're two sides of the same coin, and using different pronouns, and in particular, I think using a set of different gender pronouns, neither he nor she, would be really good. Now, I'm a bit of a language geek, as my screen name attests, and I've looked into a lot of different kind of gender pronouns, but my favourite set is Z spelt with an X. So Z, Zem, Zer, Zers, I think it is, and Zer self, which so that's my favourite set, but I don't mind the Z here, the rest of those, so I like both of those sets. Okay, I won't go into all my feelings about the other sets of pronouns, like singular they and Spivak pronouns, because that's just, I'll talk about that some other time, or maybe not, because it's not that interesting. But one of the reasons I like these pronouns is because there's a poet who I'm a fan of called Julian T. Brolaski, and I'm going to print their name down there, because these are really cool sort of gender neutral or gender different poet that uses these gender neutral pronouns in their poems, and there's some really good poems. There's this one called "What Is My Anatomy," which is really good, and "Fuck Me Harder" Sonnet 2 is another one of my favourites. It's really good, really worth the read. So the reason that I haven't done it yet is because I think it would be quite difficult to get most people that I know on board with this and using the gender neutral pronouns. I suppose I could talk to some people about it. See, the thing is, it doesn't bother me that much. And I kind of feel that I do want to be referred to by the gender neutral pronouns, but I don't feel particularly, angered by, angered isn't the right word, disappointed and sad and depressed by hearing people refer to me with male pronouns the same way that I do when people talk about me as though I am a man, and expecting me to fit into masculine stereotypes and saying, oh, well, you're a guy, so obviously these things apply to you. And sometimes depending on who it is, sometimes they correct people and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they correct themselves, but most of the time I just let it go and feel rubbish about it, and I want to start doing that less and sticking up for myself more. But maybe pronouns is going too far. But it's definitely something that I want to be thinking about in future. So if anyone has experiences with gender neutral pronouns or with pronoun change in general, then you give me a shout. And along with that goes the possibility of changing my name. Now my name is Callum, C-A-L-U-M, which I know is not a very common name in some places, and even here in Scotland I think a more common spelling is C-A-L-L-U-M, which is, but it's, you know, it's a name that people have heard of here in Scotland, and it is a male name, but it's not particularly male sounding. It's not like I'm called, you know, Troy or something. I also, one thing I quite like about it is that it ends UM, which in Latin, see Language Geek, is a neutral ending. It belongs to the neuter gender. So I quite like that about it. But when I was at school, there was this character in a book which I had read and my friends had read, who was called Callie Rose, and for a while that became my nickname, which I didn't like at the time because I was quite sensitive about my not fitting into gender norms, but now I quite like, and I just wonder if I were going to change my name, if Callie is an option. I think Cal is maybe a bit too masculine, although I do quite like it. So Cal, Callie, or even Callie Rose, but that's very much on the feminine side of the spectrum. But I was thinking about this. First name Callie, surname Rose, because I like Rose as the idea of having Rose as a surname. So that's a possibility. But I'm not anywhere near changing my name at the moment. And actually, I live in Scotland where there is no sort of institution of deed poll. If you want to change your name, it's quite complicated because you have to get a passport issued in your new name. You have to prove that you're using your new name with something such as a bank statement with your new name. But to set up a bank account, you need a passport. So it's kind of a circle. But I think that it's doable. And my bank are very understanding. They're quite... I don't know why I think that. I think my bank would be very understanding. It's a Scottish bank that I bank with. So, you know, they're slow at doing... It takes you like a month to get a new checkbook, but they're very understanding, and it's like, you know, they're friendly and folksy, and I think they might understand. Anyway, but the point is that I'm not anywhere near doing that, but it's just something I'm thinking about. So that's me on pronouns and names. So yeah, it's disgustingly warm outside, and so I'm gonna go and make some iced tea and get that cake out of the oven. So see you later.